Welcome to In the Stiffs podcast with me, Sam Aiston. I'm joined by my friends and former Shrewsbury teammates, Gav Cowan and Dave Edwards.
We tried to be a bit more organised and recorded a few episodes over the summer. This is one.
Welcome everybody. It is a triple celebration. We are here to celebrate Gav Cowan getting Manager of the Year. We are also here to...
Oh, sorry.
Dave,
It's a clap song.
You can probably tell Wits isn't here, so Dave's in charge. Dave's in charge of the sound. Stop testing things, Gav. We're also here to celebrate Brackley Town getting promotion to the National League. But go on, press one, Dave. Yes.
Oh, good one.
But more importantly than all of that, we are here to celebrate the return of In the Stiffs for Series 5.
Not quite.
Press the bottom button, Dave. Press the bottom button.
No, oh, that might be applicable.
Yeah, that's not quite what we
That's
want.
for your life coach.
What's the next one?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a nice one.
We're back.
That's for my life coaching podcast. Right, lads, everybody's got a beer. Open your beer to celebrate. It's a Thursday night,
Welcome
isn't it?
back.
But we don't really have a drink in the week, but we're going to today, aren't we?
Cheers, gents.
Cheers.
As they say in Shropshire,
Cans of
get up
Moretti
'em.
as well. That'd be a good sponsorship, Moretti, wouldn't it?
Cheers, Shag.
I'm surprised. Is
Get
it?
up 'em. That's all I ever hear when I go and watch Shrewsbury. Get up 'em.
Okay, Sam.
Yeah, I was just checking out the beers, and I just...
Come, we're in the middle of a podcast now.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're not in your front
People
row.
aren't watching this.
Anyway.
They're listening.
Sorry, everybody. Right. Today we're going to kick it off with something that is absolutely appropriate given Gavin's recent achievements. We are going to talk about promotions. Now, all three of us have had a couple of promotions in our time. I mean, I think I've had less promotions and relegations, but anyway.
Yeah, I've had more sendings off than
goals.
Yeah, than appearances.
Right, let's start off promotions then. So, Gavin, you've talked us through a little bit in our little bonus episode about that final day. But the big question we want to know is, how did you celebrate your promotion? What did you do that night?
I remember the celebrations on the pitch, and I remember then the league made the decision to get the trophy to us, which was really good. So we had sort of two presentations on the pitch because that was...
How did you get the trophy over?
I think they were in like a neutral place between us and where Kidderminster were, Southport, and then in the end they were like, yeah, it's not going to get there. And then
That's good planning, that. So
they did great, yeah, they did great.
They're holding the trophy in between the two clubs, thinking if I can fly it over.
Where was the other game?
Southport, Kidderminster played Southport, so I think they were pretty much ready to go. But initially they weren't coming.
Deliveroo.
Yeah, I think we got like an old...
Shrewsbury, wasn't it? That's quite close to it in between.
Not far, yeah. But I think it was like they had an old trophy that they used, and then they said they were coming. So we sort of did two celebrations, which was brilliant because the second one was fantastic, and everyone had had a beer. So, but we were still on the pitch by the time they got there, so it was good timing. And then
What did you do though? I always remember it was Alan Shearer, the famous quote, and someone said, "How are you going to go and celebrate?" And he, like whatever he did, I can't remember what it was, win the league or something. He said, "I'm going to go and creosote the fence."
yeah.
Did you do that?
I just went and just did some more tactics on the tactics board and just
What did you do that night?
We were just
All the
at
lads
the
out?
club. Yeah, everybody we just went to the club, and obviously all the supporters enjoyed it. The players stayed, and the club just fair play just went free bar for all the players and the management staff. So yeah, didn't buy a drink all night, and it was great because we were quite contained in. We've got a brilliant facility. It's called the venue at St James Park, and yeah,
Same as Dave, never buying a drink all night.
Yeah. I thought of that actually. I was surprised you didn't turn up.
Dave
I didn't know it was a free bar.
Dave wouldn't have noticed the difference.
Hello, mate. What are you doing here? You saying free bar?
I just thought I'm out with Sam and Gav in town.
Yeah, we just ended up being in there till late, and then thankfully we one of our car school was like, "Look, are we going home? Because if we're going home, I'm not going to be able to drink." So fair play to us. He stayed off the drink.
Oh, so he came back to Shrewsbury that night.
Yeah, but I think we got back at I can't remember. Me and Jay were asleep in the car. As done really well to get us back. Yeah, so we just had a brilliant night, which is fun because you have all these ideas. We're going to go out and in the end, we just stayed where we were, and all the fans were involved, and all the players were involved, and it was just it was one of them where you didn't want to leave. Really, that was where it was all at.
I suppose you don't want that moment to end, do you? I suppose
you don't get them a lot in football. I say this a lot. There's been a few games where I've played and the opposition team have been promoted on the last day, and I've gone over to some of their players and I said, just make sure you enjoy the moment. Do you know what I mean? Because it'll just go past in a blur, won't it? And then in football, you have all these ups and downs, but the majority of your career, unless you're like a top player who's played at Man City for 10 years, whatever it is, they're not going to be promotion scenes, are they? Usually looking over your shoulder the other way. And one of the things. So it is so important, though, because you get like one day, probably every 7-8 years that you can really enjoy it.
It is hard because obviously, from our perspective, it's such a big, incredible achievement, and all credit to the players. But then it's over so fast because obviously for me, a day later, I'm going, right, I need to retain players.
So, go on. So you wake up the next morning in your house and do you think, has it been a dream or whatever? What do you think?
I said to myself, I'll give myself the weekend to enjoy it. So the next day, we were like, we'll have a few drinks in the garden, a bit of a barbecue and all that, invite people around and all of that sort of stuff. Do you not get? Let's check my. It's gone green. I didn't deliver.
It was a cracking day, Sam. You should have come, mate.
Yeah. Loads of people were there.
This is awkward. It's start of season 5, isn't it?
But we
forward episode 2 with just Gavin and Dave.
Yeah, but the problem was obviously the next day I'm trying to chill out, and I'm like, obviously it's like euphoria, isn't it? Like you got this unbelievable feeling, and all the stress is gone.
Your body.
And then obviously about 8 o'clock, my notepad's out, and I start jotting things down and start going, I was going to retain him, and then think about it, like how we're going to do this, how we're going to go about it, and the thing is, it was futile because the club needs to get together and gather and go, right, okay, this is a plan of action. So I didn't know anything, but you're
just excited.
You can't wait, and you want to enjoy the moment, like you say, but you're already going, right, okay, there's another massive test ahead now.
I was there for a little bit, wasn't I? On the day. And this was an interesting fact that your owner said that your attendance compared to the number of people who live in the town is one of the highest percentages in the country, isn't it? It's such a small town, Bratley.
Yeah, it was me who came up with that. But yeah, I mean,
is that true? Or is it
No. When you take the population of Brackley,
and you take check this because obviously these would be my figures. But isn't like 3,000 or something there?
Yeah, I think there's 18,500 population in Brackley, and so
and there was 1,000. So if there was
like 2,500 there on the day. Because the funny thing was as well, people were sort of going, I'll go to the playoffs. I won't go to that game. I'll wait to the playoffs. And then obviously we won it, so loads of people are like, But so it was I think when we had the playoff.
What does it hold there? What can you get there when you're in the playoff final next season to get up to League Two?
We'll be at Wembley, but
semi-final.
Yeah. I'd rather go to Wembley.
So when we win the semi-final,
Dave might come to that one.
I don't know the answer to that, but I would imagine it's sort of 3.5. I reckon if all police and that were involved, because it's still like a developing ground. Like it's unbelievable, really, where they've come in 10 years.
Yeah,
will you have to do anything on the ground?
Yeah, so at the moment, they'd as you walk in to the left-hand side. Behind the goal there's obviously segregation now, so all the rules change with the big boys, aren't you? So all the rules change, segregation. So there's new turnstiles being put in. There's like a fan zone being put in over there. They're having to build a bit of the stand up again, and then on the far side to the right, they're going to have a fan zone because obviously now a really big thing for us was fans used to love coming having a beer and watching the game. Yeah, you can't do that now.
What?
No. So, but the club are obviously aware of that, so they put in a fan zone. So there's a fan zone in the way.
You can't start and have a beer and watch the game anymore then.
Well, it depends who you are, but no. As a rule of thumb, you're not allowed to. But over in the far side, there's going to be a fan zone. So there's
that's great. I'm looking forward to looking forward to you enjoying next season. But I
you won't be there. No, it's fine. Yeah. I mean, that's why we did it. To be honest, so you wouldn't go.
Text me the results.
Yeah, you have a look on teletext. It'll be there.
obviously wouldn't have a parade or anything like that. Do you do anything like that?
Like there was discussions of it, and like when they won the trophy a few years ago, which was like obviously an amazing achievement in itself. They went to like the local town hall, and there was like a big, like it was like a service, But because they'd had, what we did was a couple of days later, we did it at the club. So instead of obviously it's like 18,500 people, so you're not going to get in an open top bus, with the greatest respect.
Quick, wasn't it? Do a lap.
Yeah, I mean, no one knows this, but I did hire my own open top bus. Went around waving to everyone. To that guy who waved back on my journey. Thanks for that. Appreciated. Yeah, but we just had like a big event at the ground and just said to the supporters, look, everything at the club shop's going to go like for cheap because we're changing from Puma to Adidas. So come and get everything that's in there. Like they put the trophy there. Come and get pictures with the players. The players are all class. Like my lads are class. Like they all turned up. Like obviously it's the end of the season. And they're all there.
Get together again, though, don't they? And want to celebrate.
Yeah, I mean, no, because obviously they've got to get home. So that we'd done the celebrations, and then we did have the club paid for us to go away as well. So we went away for a couple of days. So
this is what we want. This is what we want to hear. About.
Yes.
Where'd you go?
Marbella.
And the club paid for that.
The club paid for it. Yeah.
For who?
And did you go? It was just a players' trip.
I hadn't planned to go, David. However, it was very flattering. The players were like, "You got to be there." So
did anyone actually say that? I was like, because Holly's listening.
Yeah, that's exactly what. Holly's listening. Yeah, not one of them said it. To be honest, they're like,
what are you doing here?
Is a gaffer coming?
Oh my
Flipping
God,
it.
it's like the gaffers here.
Yeah, but they loved it because obviously all of my sayings, as in like things like, you know, set the tone and all of that. They're doing that on the as we're getting on the plane. They were like, set the tone, gaffer. Set the tone. Nothing kamikaze or circus like. It's like one of my.
Imagine if that had happened back in the day. If we'd have got promoted with Shrewsbury and GP come to Marbella with us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what?
At one point, I was right in the middle of it in the pool, wrestling with one of the players, and thought to myself, probably it's been my last trip.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, so I was going to say, we had a few like Marbella trips. Peter Reid and that would come. Yeah. Well, Shrewsbury do. I think, did Jimmy Quinn or anybody come ever?
I think it's just important to recognise that, like, when you're there, the lads love it. Like, and I get on, so I'm very close with all the players. I get on really well with them. So, they've got, it's credit to them really, because they have that line. You know, sometimes that line, like, not one of them has ever crossed that line with me, which has been brilliant. And sometimes there's an opportunity to do it.
When there's a few beers and that involved.
Yeah, no, honestly, they've been unbelievable. But as well, sometimes I have to recognise that they probably don't want me around now, so you've got to drop your shoulder. So it gets to a point where they're loving it, and like they would never say this, and they would be like, "Oh yeah, it's brilliant." But at some point, you do go, "I don't want a 44-year-old standing there trying to have a laugh with them," because what I say isn't funny to them anymore, is it? Like we crack. Obviously, we think
we're funny, but
we think we're funny.
25-year-old lads.
Yeah, when you see that they're laughing and they're doing it because you're the gaffer, you think, "I'll probably better drop my shoulder." But, no, it was brilliant, and the lads they had an unbelievable time. It was funny watching them. It was good because it's spectating a bit. You know, I was like people watching.
You did 3 or 4 days there.
3 days, 3 days.
3 days, 3 nights.
Yeah.
Club pay for flights, accommodation.
Yeah, with the skipper.
Give you a few quid for drinks.
The skipper and Alfie Bates sort of really put it all together. They were the driving force, the leaders. Like so everything was done. Gaz had basically called up. We had an itinerary. Gaz in it, so like it was a full-on itinerary.
He's your skipper, isn't he? Gaz did.
Yeah, sorry, Gaz. Yeah, it's full-on like itinerary to the time.
You going each night and everything.
Military precision.
Restaurants, bars, clubs, everything.
Yeah, military precision.
You need that. You
need someone
like that in your life, don't you?
And anyone deviates, he's like, "Where is everyone? Camera proper on it," and they'd rather not, and they'd rather face his wrath. So even I was in line going, "Yeah, well, anything you say."
Did any of them like bring the ball with them in terms of like collar you for a little chat when they've had a few beers and stuff?
Do you know what? No, I think because
just imagine some of the busy players just like
we used to shout when you win Marbella or Magaluf and that, I'd be like, "Put the ball away," and someone would end up getting around the gaff and go, "Gaffer, next season, I think I could play in that number 10."
What I will say is I had one player, an unnamed player, who was doing the whole "I'm ready to go again." I'm on it, and then one of the lads has got like a champagne bucket full of pool water, and just when he wasn't looking, he's just absolutely doused him in it, dashed it all over him, and then just gone, "Put the ball away."
Yeah.
And then they're going, "We saved you, gaffer. We saved you." I was going, "Oh, flipping!" He's been chewing my ear off for about half an hour. He's like, "No, I haven't." But no, they had an unbelievable time, and I realised that probably that'll have to be my last one. at 44, sometimes you feel a bit creepy when you're in the bar and
well, make the most of it, isn't it?
yeah. Well, if us three went, then we'd go. And, I think we'd have a different type of holiday.
I think that's it, isn't it? You kind of go and have drinks, and then with your coaching staff, go and just do something else in the evening.
Absolutely,
You've got to do that, haven't you? Mix a few with the lads. I think it's like in any.
We dropped our shoulder and went for food a couple of times, just to get, like I say, they don't want us around all the time.
That's in any job. That's in my job.
Yeah.
We have like Christmas parties and end of year parties. You have a few drinks, but after a bit, you think, oh, actually, it's probably
after a bit, you think, I better get off this table and put my trousers back up. I pull my trousers back up and I better shoot off. It's 9 o'clock. I better go home.
What about you then, Dave? For your Wolves promotion, so I presume you would have an open top bus.
No, we didn't.
You did?
No, there was uproar about it. It's strange with Wolves because
give us a bit of context.
We felt as a group that we never really got the adulation that we probably deserved. We won the championship, which is like no mean feat with a really young team. No open top bus, no parades, nothing like that.
Win the championship.
Yeah, but we always felt like we were in the shadow.
Open top bus to Wolverhampton, I would have thought flipping.
It's like a city, though.
But if you look the other side, this is where I feel unlucky. Wolves have had 4 promotions in the last in this sort of millennium. So 2003, when they went up through the playoffs at Cardiff, and they beat Sheffield United 3-0, 3-1, I think it was. They had an open top bus. They finished in the playoffs. We won the league, but anyway. I digress. Then we got promoted to the Premier League, no open top bus. Then we got promoted from League One to the Championship, no open top bus. But I can kind of understand that because we'd off the record.
I don't get that.
But then, they got promoted.
First place,
yeah, but then they got promoted in 2018. The staff driver's gone again. And I think they had an open top bus. I'm pretty sure they did. They had a big thing at the town hall there.
Was that because
I was unlucky? I was in the middle of that kind of era. And no, we didn't have any.
Do you think that's because they kicked up such a fuss when you got that they thought we're going to have to do this?
Potentially. But it always felt like we were in the shadow of the 2003 team because it was the first time they'd been promoted for so long, and off the back of climbing through the leagues through the 90s and then doing it at Cardiff in a playoff final, that was huge for them. Yeah. But then, we got promoted. We stayed up for 3 years. But it just didn't quite feel like we had that.
Have you never done an open top bus then?
We did one at the town, didn't we? We got promoted at the conference.
Don't tell.
I'll tell you.
Go on, Sam. Tell us.
Sorry.
Go on. Tell us why you. Go on.
I mean, that's the only one.
Did you enjoy it?
That's the only one I've done, though. Yeah.
Sam, did you enjoy it?
That's the only one I've done.
When you got promoted and you were like at the top of that bunch, like all them fans are there just for you. How did you feel?
Like you say about that, making sure you enjoy it, because I think I've mentioned this before on the podcast.
Yeah, Freddie Flintoff for you.
I went. Instead of me doing it, even though it was the next day, I decided to fly to Magaluf for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you have said that before.
It's like, I mean, already been in Magaluf 4 times before. Spent like 5 days in Portofino's with my mates. Like, just I would say, like you said, like great advice from you. I could have done with speaking to you at the end of the game day and someone saying enjoy the moments.
Yeah.
Because you look back now and you think, how many promotions have you had in your career? Like, you've got to make the most of it.
Oh, definitely.
Massive regret that is.
I mean, you've mentioned that so many times
It's
about
just trying
how.
to be cool,
Yeah,
isn't it?
of course
You're
it
like
is.
28 or something. Well, not even that. I don't know what it was. Probably late 20s and just think.
So you should have known then. Should have known then.
Just now, now I would go, like, if that's my boys, I'm like, you milk that, you enjoy that.
Yeah.
How many times you get to go on up and top bus, you just said there.
Yeah.
Think how good your career's been, Dave, and you're like, never really happened.
Yeah. I forgot one, quite important one. When we got to the semi-finals of Euros, we come back to Cardiff and we had an open top bus.
Hold on a minute. Don't forget to mention you got the semi-finals
Just
at
a
Wales.
£50 note just dropped out of my pocket there.
That was incredible though, because there must have been, I'm sure there was like 400,000 people that turned out for that in Cardiff. It was outrageous. So we had lost to Portugal in the semi-finals, but we stayed in France the following day, and then it was the day after we travelled home. But on that day off, or day after we lost, we went back to a hotel in Dinard, which is sort of like northern France, and we just got on a session like all day.
Brilliant.
Like the lads were paralytic. We ended up, France were playing the other semi-final that night, and we ended up in a French bar. We were singing the Welsh anthem. All the fans were singing the French one. It was just going off. But then we come back the following day and we were all absolutely hanging, like proper hungover. But we arrived back. We got driven from Cardiff Airport to the castle in Cardiff, and then we're in the middle. We're in inside the castle walls then. So we've gone to have a look, because you can't see anything on that side, but we've gone up to one of the turrets to have a look through the gaps, obviously where they used to have cannons and stuff like that. We've looked out and it was just a sea of red. It was like, it was unbelievable.
So you weren't expecting it?
No, not like
shock.
that. We knew there's a lot of people there, but the bus back from the airport, there was like fans in all the villages you drive past, all kind of like out on the streets cheering and stuff like that. But then once you got into Cardiff itself, like into the centre, it was incredible. Wow. So then they opened up the gates of the castle and we kind of drove out, and then it was an hour of like every street just absolutely rammed. And then we finished off, we went from there to the stadium, to Cardiff City Stadium. That was full as well. We just did like a parade around the pitch and interviews and stuff like that.
Just slip your mind know that, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know. I was hungover, wasn't I? So just think I need to go.
Wow. What was that? Was that just the players and the staff?
There's 2 buses. Yeah, one for players, one for staff.
So staff on a bus behind, players all on that bus.
Yeah.
Did you have a beer?
Everybody drinking.
Yeah, we had a couple again, because we were so lucky when you're sort of at that level that we were like drivers afterwards then to take us back home. It's also been away for 6 or 7 weeks, so we didn't have cars or anything like that with us. So yeah, you could have a few drinks.
So, and then you got a driver.
Went to the stadium. They had a big like. I'm trying to think. I'm sure were the Manic Street Preachers there playing. There was loads going on there, and that lasted a couple of hours. They did our song for us for the Euros.
Oh my god! What a band name!
So before we went to the Euros, they did like a private thing for us at the hotel where they sang the song for us and did a bit of a set list.
Manic Street Preachers come in.
Flipping
it was incredible. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, so into stadium then after that. But it sounds bad. At that point, you're just desperate to go home as well. Do you know what I mean? Being away for nearly 7 weeks.
That's understandable.
Seeing the kids for like maybe about 3 hours on one of the days. So they came to Paris when we played Northern Ireland. I saw them after the game for a couple of hours, and that was it. So you haven't seen them for a while. So you are ready to go home at that point.
Yeah.
So you had the night and everything there with all the lads, and then
we did that. We we left about sort of 7-8 o'clock at night. And then headed back up.
Oh, right. So then you got your driver to take you.
Yeah. Everyone left in the stadium.
What's that like sitting in the car on the way back though? Is that weird feeling? When
flat out asleep, mate.
Gone.
Yeah. But no, it is a bit. It's almost like it's over after such like. I knew that was. I was never going to top at that moment. Then I knew I was never going to top that experience that I just had as a footballer. I was 30 at the time, so a bit older than what you were saying, where you can take it all in. I always said about the Euros that I'm so glad it happened to me at that age, because I was old enough to take it in. If it was 21, it would have just passed me by.
Yeah, cool.
Played in the Premier League when I was younger at Wolves, and I can't really remember too much from it because you're that involved in it. Whereas I was really conscious to be present and be in the moment at the Euros, and I was during the celebrations as well. So I'm glad it happened when I was older.
On a obviously a much lower level, when we won the league this year, I'd got absolutely done with all the champagne. So all my clothes were drenched. Probably a good thing.
That's why you having to wear that.
Yeah. So I thought I'll go in and put a tracksuit on. But I had like a little moment like that where I was like sat in my own office, and obviously it was all kicking off outside, but it was sort of done. And I looked at the board, and like all of our targets and all of our points, like Jamie always likes to get his board done right and all that with fixtures. And I had a little moment of like it's very quiet. I'm here on my own now. Like, all of that euphoria is going to be over at some point. I can't really describe the feeling, but it's like
being aware enough that this is a nice moment. I need to appreciate. I need to take it in.
I was very much like, has that happened? Like, that's definitely happened, hasn't it? Like, I'm going to have to write.
Sit with your thoughts.
We were like, right, next thing we do on that board is we're going to write champions at the bottom. And then literally, I reckon about 3-4 minutes later, Jay came around. He went, right, where's my pen? And he grabbed his pen and he wrote champions on the board. But yeah, like real moment of like flipping it. That's like,
it's important.
Slightly different, obviously. But
it's absolutely not any different, is it? Depends whatever level or whatever you're doing. You get those feelings, and you got to try and just enjoy the moment, because like everything, especially to get old, like we're all getting older, obviously. Like life flashes by so fast. Just taking a second just to go, hey, what an unbelievable achievement! Like you're there in the back of the car going home. It's like strange feeling, because that's incredible. That we've just got the semi-final. That's that, and yourself, don't you think? That is as good as it's going to get.
I wonder whether that feeling for like it's different now, isn't it? Because they're protected a little bit more, but I suppose it's still apparent. But like when Paul Gascoigne obviously had this like unbelievable career and all of the drama that went with it, and then when it's all gone, I wonder whether he has that, but a lot of really prolonged. I wonder whether that gets to him a little bit. Like that's the feeling. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be hard. I think it's hard for the top players, because like I was saying before, if you're at a top club and you're winning week in, week out, and you're just on to the next one, and it does become probably a bit of a normality. Whereas us mere mortals, it comes along once in a blue moon, and you've got to really take it in.
Yeah.
But it's hard to, isn't it? It's only when you start getting older, you know, you're...
I'm like, we've had, like, between the three of us, had loads of conversations about being present and conscious and stuff, and it's like, I'm really big on it now. I'm like constantly like, yes, thank you.
Even with you being present and conscious, you think how quickly that's over, and now you're thinking, how on earth are we going to tackle National League now?
And all the problems that come with it, and then you could be... Well, let's not put down on things, but you could be 6 games into the new season and suddenly, like, especially in football, more than in any other bit, football is like that, isn't it? Suddenly
Championship to Premier League, you're those teams.
Out and you suddenly go, what?
Well, before I knew it, we were off to Florida on our family holiday. And then I'm like going, yeah, brilliant. I'm on the phone in the queue going, brilliant, mate. Can I just give you a quick call back? I'm just going to jump on this goofy ride now. And then I like go on that. And then the one was I was on the phone to like a potential player or his agent or whatever. And then this ride that was horrendous, like obviously as you get better, like it's horrible, like the height and the corkscrews and the spins and all of that. It's one of the biggest ones. And I went, mate, I'll call you back in about 10 minutes. And I went on this ride and I was all over, Barnet was all over the place, flipping dishevelled, come out, got my bag out of the locker. Hello, mate. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, what are you saying? And like Holly was like cracking up, going like, literally, you've just been like, I'd love for him to know what you've just done there. Because I was like, hello, mate, sorry. Yeah, anyway, what I was saying was basically, but like, listen, I think we went on the Hulk or whatever, and it's flipping. So you're into it straight away. Like there's no getting away from it. It's like you can have a couple of days, but then the moment, like fair play, like our football club, we were very much like, right, we need to get together. We got together, and then it was all about, right, let's find a way forward. Because whilst everybody, all the players are going, the players don't see that part of it. They're all off, and I'm putting strategies together about going, okay, we need to look at, because obviously at our level as well, I'm like manager, head coach, head of recruitment, technical manager, technical director. There's a lot of jobs that you have to do, which is brilliant. It's brilliant, like to be a part of.
Do you know what's mental when you get promotion though? You see, like, like lads will leave at the end of the season when you get promotion. So you see all these managers celebrating going from the Championship to the Premiership, and you think, like, great. Think of like Russell Martin, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In Southampton, he's like sneaked up, like celebrating. He's the next big thing because he's top of the champ. Then he gets sacked, don't you? Within like.
What are you trying to say, sir?
That's the league, though, isn't it? Championship to Premier League, and then I look how toxic Leicester went this season, for instance, and then even Ipswich have done unbelievable to get to sort of the Premier League that quickly. Kieran McKenna,
everybody celebrates, and that manager's going to be the next big thing.
If I click on their, like for instance, towards the end of the season, Ipswich lose a game, and it comes up on their social media. If you click the comments, they're hounding the players, the manager.
It's a very unique industry, isn't it, with that? And I think, like you say, I'm aware that at the moment, me, my staff, the club, we're hot property.
Yeah.
You got to maintain that. And that's part of the discussions. Look, have we hit our ceiling or are we going again? Like, we need to be able to stay in this league now.
It's one of the most ruthless professions, football, isn't it?
Yeah.
Things like that. You get a championship and you top the championship, for example, is a great example of it, and your stock has never been so high as a manager, but that can disappear in anything. Ryan knows that me all the time. However well he's done it in bits of his career, he says 6 games away from the sack.
Yeah.
So it just turns like
that's
that.
where sentiment means absolutely nothing. So you got promoted and you'll be going through this summer. You've got to get a team ready to go and compete in the National League, and unfortunately there's players who have done so well for you the last couple of years who you'll have to make a horrible decision on, but you can't. But you can't. There's no emotion in it. You've got to be cutthroat, and it's horrible.
It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do in football.
Yeah,
to call a player and just say, we've been connected. I've been asking all these things of you. You've been asking them of me. We've been through absolute everything together. We've succeeded, and now actually we need to move on.
Yeah.
Worst conversations. Worst, like, it's the without.
You're always
doubt.
the bad guy in that, obviously, aren't you?
Of course,
always.
yeah. And like, one thing I pride myself on is that honesty of being like really transparent with the players, which I think for the most part, 95% of the time, that's where you get your popularity with your players. Just pure honesty. They respect it.
That's all you want as a player.
Well, then obviously they look at your capabilities and whether they see the value in like what you do in terms of like a process. But then off the back of that, it's whether the negotiations are going well. Players always want as much as they can get, but then even like when they don't go well, again, like you can reason all you want. Like it's a real tough place to be. Really, what's the word I would say? Like feel very isolated when you're doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's really hard, though, isn't it? It's like the lads you'll have had this, Gav. The lads who've been brilliant lads for you, and they've got you, helped get you out of that league. Might not have been your superstars, but they've done an amazing job for you. But you're just they're not quite good enough. Like great characters, absolute achieved their potential, but ability-wise, not enough.
This is where it starts, though, isn't it? Because ironically, like our whole thing is about continuity. So we believe that there's a vast majority of our players that are capable of National League, but obviously probably more suited to it as well than what we've just been through. They're probably more suited to that level in terms of like capability, stature, physicality, and all of the above. But there are going to be a few that fall by the wayside, and even already, you know, we'll announce a few, and some people won't like that. They won't. They have to trust, obviously, me and my outlook on it. And so already, some of them got their favourite. So it starts already and then one comes through the door and they're like, right, okay, I understand now. He's either a better player or he's a similar player.
And then that's the exciting side for fans, isn't it? Who we signing?
Yeah.
And then you start to get players who last year you wouldn't have been able to get.
No. But it's hard for me because like when I'm all in with my players. Like I'm just totally connected with them. I literally.
So you find that hard or something? If you've got lads,
did one this morning. Hardest thing I've ever had to do. Honestly,
friends, and then you can get
yeah. And literally now it's like you've got, in order to achieve a promotion at any level, especially at that decent level, you've got to be so connected with each other that you've got to stick to your core values and you've got to follow it through. And then when you've done that and you've achieved it, how hard is that to go, right, okay, well, but I've got a responsibility to the football club as well. You know, I have to, and I have to go, look, the football club have to maintain their status in that league. So now I'm being tasked with the decisions on how that's going to go. So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, but the reality is that's when you have to just become a professional.
Do you feel you'll have to evolve in terms of at the level you've been managing at with Brackley? It's sort of a community club, it's part-time football, and you can be friendly with the players and have their best interests out, which you'd always have as a manager. But do you feel as you get higher, National League, move through the leagues, then there's going to have to be a more distinct line where we're not friends necessarily?
I think the balance now is, first of all, simple answer is yes.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna there's have to be more of a distance between me and the changing room.
You don't have to be like that. You just got to be respected. I don't think that's
it's respect.
Well,
when I go through managers that I've played for and ones that have maybe struggled, the ones who try and be too friendly with the players, it doesn't usually work. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I mean, like you need to have that definitive authority but respect.
I think I've had a really good balance of that anyway. And I think in life in general, I'm quite passionate about being respected as opposed to liked. I'm not like, listen, if you're liked, it's the cherry on top, isn't it? But no one can doubt respect. Like, not everyone's going to like me. I'm comfortable with that. Yeah. It's not even like, it's more a reflection of them because I'm comfortable with myself. Yeah. But football,
I respect you a little bit.
Yeah. Thank you, mate.
Like,
there'll always be people who don't like you in football because you've left them. Like, I think of Mick McCarthy, for instance. Like 90, 70, 80, 90% of people will only have good things about Mick McCarthy. But there's lads who he didn't play, who he let go, who can't stand him.
It's even
because they haven't played.
But I think it's just impossible, isn't it? If you try to please everybody, like you got it.
But that's why, if it's regardless of anything, social media is one, isn't it? If you're out there to please everybody, you're in what I call the devil's playground. You're never going to succeed. You're running around like chasing your own tail. When it's to be respected, you've got to put yourself. It's controllable for me. People have to respect you if you do a good job, if you're a good person, if you have good core values, if you are successful. They have to do that. I think with my players now, I think I'll maintain what I've got at this moment in time, but absolutely, because there's going to be a higher level of player, there's going to be more competition because we have a bigger squad. It's going to be on them really to drive that changing room, and it's not going to be for me to be so involved. I think I agree with you, but I think there'll just be a balance. It'll just be. The balance is really good at the moment, but it's going to require more balance. Yeah, is how the best I can describe it.
Yeah.
When you think, Dave, then, so when you've had promotions, the manager's been massively respected by the lads. That's been key. Yeah, a key thing to get you promoted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you ever played in a team Where your team's been successful, but they haven't liked the gaffer?
Not as a whole, because I just think when you're winning games, it masks a lot of things anyway.
Absolutely.
So I feel that...
Remember Rio Ferdinand's famously saying about Man United when they started losing a few games, he was like, well, no one questioned Man United's team spirit throughout the 90s, did they? Suddenly when it's going wrong, the team spirit's not good, because as soon as, naturally as footballers, and we all used to do it, when you lose, it's like, what you do is you look for a million different reasons why you've lost, don't you? Blame someone else, blame the circumstances, then at the end you go, oh, could I have done a little bit better? Like, people don't do it, do they?
Like for you, Gav, this year you've been really successful. If you have a rocky spell next year where you lose a couple of games on the bounce, the players will start saying, oh, why are we doing this session again?
Yeah.
Whereas last season,
the same session that you loved.
Everyone's
the old flipping it, turn the page. Really.
Yeah. But it will happen. But yeah, I think the manager will have to have that respect to being
My
successful.
response would be, if it's not broke, don't fix it, lads. Just like, you're the problem. Like, I think like we're going to have to evolve, and I'm already aware of all of that. So I almost like feed that into the players. Like, statistically, I would say that we're probably not going to win as many games as what we've done this year. I mean, we hope that we're going to have an incredible season, and I dream about it, and like that'll be our goal. However, this is where you find out about people, isn't it? You know, when things are going well, everything's brilliant. When things aren't, it's when you really find out. So when those players I've retained, and we're all so connected at the moment, and it's like, oh, incredible, and everything's amazing.
You're all at Ocean Beach, like we all love each other. What a great team spirit
absolutely,
we've got, lads.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Got promoted.
We'll see, won't we? We'll see when, you know, we're at Carlisle away with 10,500 people, and, you know, it's you're walking out there going, right, are we in it together now then? Because there's 10,000 people here baying for our blood. Like, are we ready? Are we sticking together? Are we on it? Are we connected? Like, that's when we'll find out. And that's what gets me excited. That's the bit that goes, I'm ready to go to the next level. And I'm retaining the players that are as well. But like what you say, it's like, it's great to be liked. Like, don't get me wrong, everybody likes to be liked, but you've got to be respected first and foremost. And I'm quite sort of honest about the fact that I think the players are mature enough to understand the way the relationship's going to go. They'll recognise the fact we're in a higher league, that things have got to be better. They're going to recognise the environment. They're going to see the staff, and they'll adapt. What
do you think, Sam? Key ingredients. You said manager, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, getting the right players didn't start the season, isn't it? Is massive. Gav, me spoke about that with Gav. It's the right players. You know, squad depth, isn't it? Avoiding injuries to key players. But in fairness to you, Gav, you had some injuries to key players, didn't you, at the start, early on that season? But I would say, what way? I mean, I don't know whether it's luck or it's good, good rehab. But your key players got fit towards the end, didn't they?
I think there's an element of luck. I think circumstance. I think
circumstances.
I think that'd probably be a better way to describe it. But like you say, we decided this year. It makes it even more extraordinary, really. Like, it's credit to the lads, because we decided to go with with the budget. We know that we're part time. We're probably not going to have a budget like some of the others. So we're gonna concentrate that budget and go with a smaller squad. Hopefully, we won't get many injuries, and then we've got five key players get injured for 3 months plus. Our top goal scorer got injured for 4 months from the previous season. So you're almost like, we went to Stockport in the second round of the FA Cup with 13 on the bench. With 13 players. It was brilliant, because we went there knowing that we had like 3 on the bench. So we were like, 14 players. Like, looks a bit amateur, but listen, this is where we're at. Unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do. We can cover every eventuality.
I was only trainers.
I know you were, mate. Yeah, but we built a game strategy on 2 players, and we were like, genuinely, I was confident. Honestly, going to Stockport, I was like, I think we're going to do this, because I'd watched them over and over and over, and I knew where the weaknesses were. I thought, we're going to get them. And then one of the lads who was the key part of that game strategy, out of the 2 of them, broke down in a warm up before the game.
Yeah.
So we're like, now we've got 13, and actually one of my lads who's naturally like a 4/8 has got to go and play in the 10. And then we broke away. The game strategy was perfect, because we broke away 3 times, but it was like we were too far from the goal, and it was just the personnel was a bit like that. We would have gone with a different game strategy, but it was brilliant, because I said to Jay on the day, like, just the amount we've learned from today. Yeah. The amount you learn.
What I loved about it, because obviously we knew you had a lot of injuries, but I remember speaking to you probably November, December time, and we're talking about it, and you said, just got to hang in there. If we can be in touching distance when we get into January, February, that's all we need to do. Don't need to win every game, but if we can just stay within touching distance, when everyone's fit, we'll have a chance. And that's what you did.
Yeah. I remember Sunderland season where the first time we got promoted. I remember Peter Reid bringing in Shea Given, and everybody was like, he must have been 18, 19 at the time. He's the same age as me. Everybody was like, that's a strange one, isn't it? But we ended up getting promotion with like a load of clean sheets, and you think, if he wasn't there, like it would have been the championship. I don't know what it was called then, but might have been the championship. But like, you think it's like a couple of key people like that, and then Shea Given stayed fit and played, and like was a difference maker.
And you're taking a chance on him as well.
Yeah, and he took a bit of a chance on him. Like
there's so many circumstances that have to work in your favour.
Yeah, and you have to be brave and take a chance. And like Peter Reid went like that, dropped Alex Chamberlain, who was whatever, like 30. So Shea Given, we're going with this young lad, and he was sensational, unbelievable, and then you get promotion.
What was more important, Shea Given or the goals you scored?
Shea Given that first season, because I think we didn't even score a lot of goals. Didn't like the second time we got promotion was that must have been the Quinn Phillips thing where it's just like destroying teams. I think they got 100 points, so like different in the stadium. Like, it was amazing. But the first promotion was Roker Park. And, like, it wasn't an amazing team. It was just workmen. Like, Peter Reid had a great team spirit. Like, it was all like beers on the bus and all that sort of thing. Shea Given and goal, like pulling off miracle saves, like winning games 1-0. Yeah. Like, he found a formula.
Different ways to do it.
A couple of key players, but if Shea Given had pulled the hamstring, like, who knows what would have happened. It must be the same with you, Dave. Like, when he got promotion, there would have been key players in that season.
Yeah, it was what you said at the start. We were goals, so like we would just try and run all over teams. And if you score 3, we'll score 4. That was what we did. And we had Sylvan Ebanks-Blake, who won Golden Boot 2 years on the bounce in the Championship, alongside Chris Ilumu, who scored loads of goals. And then our wingers were Michael Kitely and Matt Jarvis. Wow. So we were like at that level.
4-4-2.
4-4-2.
You're just going like, give them the ball.
That was good. And then you have a good spine as well, and you have to have. I think you have to have leaders in the group. That's really important. We had Jody Craddock and Carl Henry, spine of the team, both leaders, both led by example as well. They weren't dickheads. They were good lads who people aspired to be like. I'd say that the spine of your team being strong, but then goals.
Yeah, that would say that there would never been a team that's ever won promotion. I wouldn't think that have probably got some big characters like through the middle.
Yeah,
like you centre off, centre mid, a keeper or forward. There will be a spine of that team where you're like, they're crucial. Yeah, they might rotate other lads, but you'll have some lads who play 40 games and they'll be absolutely integral to what.
I think even more so back in the day when tactics weren't as big a thing. Yeah, because you're relying on your players, then, aren't you? Yeah. Obviously, there's bits and bobs. I think now, even like you, sort of in the National League North, there's so much tactics which goes into it. And you look at Championship teams now went up this year, so tactical. Yeah. Games can be won just by on a decision or a set piece or something like that. But I think 15, 20 years ago it was very different.
Oh yeah, we'll digressed a bit. We talk about tactics now. We think about how much work Gav puts into tactics now. And
you've won the Championship, not doing anything.
I did the Premiership, and it was nothing. The tactics were nothing like what you do now. Like, you'd set up, we'd be 4-4-2 in the Premiership, away at Arsenal, 4-4-2.
Up, back and through.
Up, back and through. Yeah, so like try to stop Bergkamp getting on the ball.
Screen Bergkamp.
Try to have like, who's going to do that? Yeah. Someone make sure you go on Tony Adams. Like, we'll be like, well, not me, but put someone on Tony Adams and be like, yeah, good luck with that. Yeah. And like that's how you would do. You would match it up. You wouldn't go into the massive details of what to do now. And then before the game, it'd be like, right, let's get stuck into these and all that sort of thing. It wouldn't be play your patterns and all that thing like you do now.
Yeah, when I got my first job, I was like, you end up having a new love of, and that's what it is for me. I'm like game strategies. Like, I love.
Does that help you get promotion then massively this season?
Yeah, and when I first knew it, I was the manager at Telford, and we played Hartlepool away in the FA Trophy, and we stayed overnight. And I was speaking with the staff in the morning, and I was like absolutely adamant about the tactical approach that we were going to do, and everyone was a bit dubious. And I was like, listen, I've watched them like numerous times. I know what's going to hurt them. I won't bore you with the details now, but that was the first. We beat them comfortably, but that was the first time I realised that I knew before, but that was when I was like, absolutely, I have a pivotal part to play in us winning games.
It's not just having the best players.
No, it's not. Like, yes, you live and die by your players as a rule of thumb, definitely. But I can have a massive impact on it. That was the first time. I think it was the quarter final of the trophy.
Give us your top 2 like things that you need for promotion. The top 2. Give you a few seconds to think about it.
Dave, you'd be best placed, but I'll go second.
I think nowadays, like I said, it's completely different. I do think you do need the tactic element to it. So I think you need a good...
I'd rephrase it from tactics to game strategies.
Yeah, it's not tactics. It's about getting the best out of your players, making your best players perform. A system,
like man management.
Yeah, but it's a system which suits your best players. Right, if that makes sense.
Building, putting your tactics around getting the best out of your
key players.
Where we were really good was, I think there's various ways in which the game will go. So there'll be a restart game, which will be very back to front, very like every free kick loaded up. We were good at that, first and second contacts. So we were good at that. Then there'll be a one where you'll sort of earn the right, and you'll earn the right for bigger distances, which will enable you to play and get into your patterns. And we were very good at that as well.
Is that been the key, or tactics?
Yes, yeah. And then the third one for me was understanding the opposition were very, very strong in an area, and how you would neutralise that and capitalise on it. Like, it's very difficult to get someone's strength. It's very good. It's very easy to neutralise it, or certainly have the idea of neutralising it. In practice, is up to the players. But the idea of neutralising the opposition is quite easy to get. But it's then how you exploit them from that position. That's the tough bit, and it's those 3 things there that my lads were really good at this year.
So we'll put that under one umbrella of game strategy. So you're saying one of your things, your key reasons to get promotion, or not even why teams get promotion, why you got promotion this season was game strategy, which is coming from you. So that's 50%.
Yeah,
at least you're taking. What's
I'm taking all the credit.
Inspirational manager.
Yeah, and having a really good-looking manager, you're always going to do well. No, and the other is, like, without doubt, the players. And when you subcategorise that,
best player. When you say best players or characters, because you need.
Well, that's what I think. You just call them players, and what you do is you talk about attributes, you talk about characters, you talk about experience, you talk about leaders.
That sounds like more than 2 key points.
So
you used the word umbrella, didn't you?
So, what is more important?
The football and the 2 goals.
Yeah. The ability of the players or the characters. Because I'm thinking, you need every team that's got promotion needs some leaders.
Yeah,
in the team. I don't just mean the manager.
But if they can't put the boots on the right way, there's a balance. If you wanted me to, if it was like a seesaw,
I'm asking you to tell me which one's the most important. That's the whole game.
Any up and coming.
I have won promotion as a player, knowing that we were nowhere near the best team in the league. So it'd be characters.
Yeah,
like that changing room.
Characters.
Every
team that's got promotion.
And I knew our changing room was when they put washing up liquid all over the floor, and they were running naked from the shower, sliding all the way through the changing room. And I thought, it's a decent changing room. I quite like it.
But because it's lads with a little bit of character.
Yeah, I know. We're full of it, abundant. And that, again, when I'm recruiting, of course, you know straight away about the player. We'll be a little bit responsible for their conditioning, but they will be from home because of the nature of our setup. But you have to do your due diligence, because there's a striker, obviously I won't say him, there's a striker that I've been looking at, and you're like, everything's ticking a box. He's going to be very difficult, probably a little bit out of our price range is the truth, but in the end I just stopped pursuing him because 3 people had said to me that unless he's the main man, he's a bit of a whopper, and you're like, I can't have that. So just literally deleted him off the list.
Because you can't afford to carry him, because of the effect he has in the dressing room in the team.
Yeah.
When you do lose 3 games, he's going to be a problem.
And the team he played in last year, he was the main man. So you're like, oh yeah, I get it. I understand why he scored all them goals. But then he'd come to our team, and I'd be like, don't really work like that with us. We're pretty like all in it together. Yeah. Everyone's on board.
I think it's a bit of a blend. I think you need, out of your consistent starting 11, you need 7 or 8 players who are great lads, who will do all the horrible stuff. Probably 8 or 9 players, actually, do all that horrible stuff. Can obviously perform to a level, but then I think you need 2, possibly 3 top players who make the difference.
Bit mad.
Because you can't have 11 Dave Edwardses and win the league.
You can't have 11 Gav Cowan and stay in the league.
You have a good golf team.
But you need, even if they aren't a great lad, but in that environment, it doesn't allow them to be a dickhead, because you've got too many good lads around them, and you'll suck it up. I'll go back to that Wolves promotion. We had Sylvan Ebanks-Blake, who he was a great lad, Sylvos. He was unbelievable at finishing. He was going to score the goals to get us promoted. But he won't always work the hardest.
Yeah.
He would moan at you a few times. And I remember Carl Henry having a bit of a pop having a pop at Sylvan in training. And Mick McCarthy pulled Carl to his office and said, "You can't do that, Carl. You can't do that. He's going to get us promoted. We're gonna, So obviously you can't take the piss with it, but you need. I think you're willing to let the character go on one or two players as long as the rest of your group is really strong.
Yeah, I like. Arguably our player of the year this year. Was George Carline. He's actually left us now.
Released.
No, gone. But a big thing for him is in terms of his character, you can't, if he makes a mistake, got to leave him alone, because otherwise his mind wanders elsewhere.
That's the management, isn't it? That's good management. So that's on you again.
I had to go to on me again.
Gav's top 4 for promotion is basically around himself.
Yeah, the manager has to be really well dressed. He has to be good looking. No, but with George again, just so many unbelievable attributes as a player. He literally played left wing back, right wing back, left side centre half, right side centre half, central centre half. Played in goal for me this year.
With 11 George Carlines, or would you?
But he could play anywhere. That's my point. He's not a goal scorer, but I say that he scored 6-7 goals from wherever, from anywhere. He scores goals from anywhere, pops up at the right times. My point is, when you're managing people like that, like you say, I had to go to Gaz, the captain, and just say, you're not allowed to have a go at him. No one's allowed to have a go at him because. He just, his brain goes elsewhere. Starts thinking, because George doesn't want to let anyone down. So then he starts going, how can I chase that mistake? So then it just affects his game. Whereas this year, a big part of him doing well was because we just went, no one's allowed to say anything to him, to the point where one of my senior players had to pull it, said to him in training, don't do that. Leave him.
It's the same as.
Yeah,
but if you're a match winner, which you'd argue maybe George, but you'd argue that in the end you put up with him if he's going to win you the game.
Yeah.
So I think every manager who's had a successful promotion, they'll look back at their season and they'll be games in there which we wouldn't have won if it wasn't for him. We were okay, we were competing, but he won us the game, or he saved us the game because of a save he made or a clearance he made if it's a centre half. Do you know what I mean? There'd be so many games this season which could go either way, and you needed that maverick or a shot stopper or whatever it might be.
Yeah. Scunthorpe had it this year in our league, Callum Roberts, and he was just I felt they were very good team, very workmanlike, but he was just a difference. He was just literally that match winner, and I can imagine in there they do everything to protect him and wrap him up in cotton wool. Because
you were saying about Shay Given, wasn't it? And then you said about Quinn and Phillips in the other team.
You need I don't necessarily say both players, but you look at two things. You'd say you need some you need leaders, you need some absolute men who are going to be Tuesday night away, going to roll their sleeves up, get stuck in, they're going to pull people up who are late for training, they're going to set the culture in the dressing room, and then every team you need something special, don't you?
Yeah.
You said there too.
For that level.
Yeah. You need someone who is probably good enough for the level above, and you go, right, we can get a good group of lads working all together, and we can get 2 or 3 who are special, and if we keep them fit and get their brains working, because what you always find sometimes, a lot of the time, don't you, the lads who, especially at lower levels, the lads who are brilliant lads and work really hard aren't the ones with all the talent, otherwise they wouldn't be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
100%.
It's getting that right blend. I think I would say that's a key thing. And you can pretend otherwise, but you do need, I know we're saying the word luck, but you sometimes do just need a little bit of luck. If you've got 3 key players there, if Sylvan Blakes gets injured, are you still getting promoted? Shea Given gets injured, are you still getting promoted?
Some people are just key, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%.
Some moments are key. We say all the time, it's all about moments. Like we're saying, when we had all them injuries, just stay in it. It's we're looking for a moment. So be resolute. We're looking for a moment. Let's get through this game again. And we've got another win. Flipping that class. And it's all about moments. About moments.
Yeah, it is important. Go back to Sylvan. We got relegated from the Championship, and we were putting up a fight of it, and Sylvan broke his leg with about 6 games to go, And that was us done.
Did the lads feel that a bit as well?
He was the only one who could score for us. Do you know what I mean?
You always still have broke my leg. Okay.
You'd be all right, wouldn't you? Just run that off. Yeah, just get up, you'd be all right.
Okay, let's stay positive, lads.
Strap
7
that
games to go. What a chance. No, we haven't.
Yeah, they'll make a huge difference.
Good then, lads. Enjoyed that. So, congratulations again to Gavin on promotion. That's obviously inspired us to talk a little bit about promotions there. Enjoyed that. Want to try and keep things to an hour, aren't we? Pretty good job. Stop having a go at us.
Stop people falling asleep. But yeah, no, I think it was a good one. Good one to start with.
Yep.
And as always, you can follow us on all our socials. Get in touch. We're going to be really active on social media, aren't we? We're going to try and be responding all the time to questions, ideas, suggestions, loads of interaction.
And if anyone wants to support the podcast, if anyone wants to come out and help us, and I suppose the word is sponsor, then like I say, we do it for nothing, and we're not looking for anything other than just to keep the running of the podcast, because we know that a lot of people are benefiting from it.
It's nice when we've had a couple of people come. It would be nice to have someone else to come visit in the Stiffs HQ, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Come and have a drink with us.
Yeah. But yeah, if anyone wants to send a message and they want to come and play the fruity in the corner, then whilst we do a podcast, let us know.
Right, everybody, have an amazing week.